Today was a dark chapter in the long and storied history of North American Counter-Strike. Over the years, we have faced many kinds of disappointment, but I would argue that today might be at the top of the list for toughest things I've ever had to sit through. It was the final day of the Stage 1 of the Austin Major, the first major in these hollowed great lands of freedom since 2018. And look at how sadly things have gone. NRG vanquished in frankly embarrassing fashion by Lynn Vision, and then Wildcard torn asunder, destroyed in utterly every way imaginable by Legacy. The only cold comfort left on this day is that FlyQuest also shit the bed. Let us mourn our lost pick'ems together. And before we do, give me some sympathy in these trying times by leaving a like, leaving a comment down below, and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and help me hit 10k subs by the end of the year. And lastly, before we get started, I would like to thank today's sponsor. Austin, Texas, brother. The first American major in 7 years. 32 teams will enter, and only one will rise above and enter into history. While the action unfolds in the server, you can fight your own battles and predict who will win. 4 stages. Make the right choices and win awesome prizes. Show off to all your friends that you do in fact know ball. Participate in Skin Club's major pick'ems with the first stage starting on June 2nd. Check the top link in the description to go ahead and get started. And lastly, remember, Skin Club is an online gambling service. If you choose to play on Skin Club, please do so safely and responsibly. Do not gamble if you're under 18 or live in a country or jurisdiction that restricts gambling. Gambling addiction is a serious issue, and if you or a loved one are suffering from gambling addiction, you are not alone. If you live in the US or Canada, you can reach out toll-free to 1-800-GAMBLER for help. Please be safe, and thank you to Skin Club for sponsoring this video. Okay, so right at the top, I was going to go more in depth on these games, but I have too much going on today. I've worked on 3 other videos. We're going to stick to just talking about the broad strokes of these games. This is going to be a much shorter video because I just kind of need it to be, and we'll save our energy for stage 2, which literally starts tomorrow. Hopefully you guys can understand, and I'm sorry for all the capitulations lately. I want to maintain a very high standard for myself, but there are some cuts that need to be made along the edges, and making this a 30-minute video would just add a lot to my day at this point, and we're just going to stick broad with that. And I'm really sorry to put you guys through that. Hopefully you enjoy the commentary nonetheless. First up, NRG versus Lynn Vision was one of the most painful games I have ever sat through. The first map on Dust 2 went to 3 overtimes with some of the sloppiest, most unreasonable Counter-Strike that I have seen in a long while, and at the end of it, Lynn Vision have walked away with a 2-map victory after they closed out a pretty dominant win on Inferno as well. This Dust 2 game looked so surely to be in NRG's hands at one point, but they tossed it utterly away in the second half and eventually during those overtimes. These overtimes were so mind-numbing that for the entire first 2 overtimes, the equivalent length of an entire half of Counter-Strike, neither team could win a single T-side round. 12 straight CT rounds with both teams getting 2 individual halves on the CT side. Neither team could win a T round. Mind-blowingly bad T sides. Utterly blown post-plan situations by both teams at different points, and it also came on the back of some true heroics from both these teams in their CT defenses, whether it was Starry with like one of the best 4-man spray transfers I have ever seen on Long A, or George with a miracle 4-man retake on the B site to keep his team alive. There were theatrics on both sides that were necessary for this game to continue in the path it did. The problem is ultimately for NRG, they tossed everything after the second overtime concluded, and the first person we have to say is OC. OC had one of the most miserable first maps that you could possibly expect. Keep in mind that they played a grand total of 42 rounds. During that time, OC only got 18 kills as your primary opper and averaged an abysmal 49 ADR. Nitro had 26 kills, the in-game leader. You could have given OC a full-on trigger bot and he would have found a way to not get kills. I'm fully convinced. This is just unspeakably bad. Like, to the point that I don't think NRG should take another step into the server with OC on this team. Get literally anybody else, bro. This man is a double agent. He's out there to lose you games. He's just so up and down, so unpredictable, and when he blows up sky high. And as my buddy Why Not pointed out in a podcast we recorded today, keep an eye out for that, by the way, OC's one of the highest volume op players. Like, he needs the op at any viable time. He can't get by as a rifler. His rifling is awful. So he uses the op at an extremely high clip and then just does nothing with it. You got George and HeXT playing the game of their life, more or less, trying to keep this team in this major, and OC and Bro are just throwing away rounds. Like, that's the only way to put it. Then for Lynn Vision, you had a monstrous performance from Zacher, you had an incredibly great performance from Amelia, and then Westmelon, Starry, even Call Me Sue had moments of impact. Every player got above 20 kills. OC, wow, look at that. And like, I'm sorry, dude, there's just no way in hell you could convince me, after losing a triple overtime heartbreaking game in a must-win series facing elimination, that NRG could come back and bounce back in any other game in the series. This game was over the moment Lynn Vision finished this off. I think we saw that play out on Inferno, because it was just a one-sided affair. 13-8 is pretty much as gentleman sweepy as you get. NRG started off really strong. They won the pistol round. They converted the early game. The problem is, they only won 5 rounds in the first half, and 3 of those came in the first 3, which is not ideal. Just not exactly what you're hoping for. And listen, I want to be fair. As much as OC threw on Dust 2, he was better on Inferno. It's just too little too late. You gave up too many mistakes at the beginning that you could not get away with. It doesn't matter how well you played on this first half of Inferno, especially because George fell back to earth. Bro maintained a terrible performance all the way out. OC, you figured it out, but at the wrong time. Meanwhile, Amelia, captain consistent for Lynn Vision, leads the way, 24 kills, 1.66 rating. It just felt like every momentum play went Lynn Vision's way after things kind of righted themselves towards the end of Dust 2. And at the end of it all, they eliminate NRG. I forget which player does it, but one of the players does the Stewie 2K, jumps up on the desk and just like looks at him, mean mugs him. And that's a tough look. And I forgot to do my predictions at the beginning, actually, so I'm just going to put them in here. I predicted NRG to win, and that didn't work. I predicted Wildcard to win, and that didn't work. I predicted Tyloo to win, and that one got there. And listen, if NRG was a painful dick twist of a match to watch play out, you know, Wildcard versus Legacy was actual Chinese water torture. It was 13-10 on Inferno, and then after a 11-1 opening CT side half, Legacy would close out the game 13-6 on Nuke, and that would be the end of my pick'ems. Gone with the wind, with Wildcard on the way home. I put it out on Twitter. I think it's the funniest tweet I put out all day, and I had some bangers out there. I was hitting today, and I said that the screams of Dumao will haunt my nightmares tonight, because every single round that Legacy won, he would just screech at the top of his lungs after. And fair enough, dude. Everyone thought Legacy wasn't gonna do good here, and you guys are in the next stage. Like, sure. Enjoy it. I'm sure he can't talk anymore, but I'm sure he's one happy, voiceless motherfucker right now. Funny aside, Dumao's name, if you translate it in Vietnamese, apparently translates to motherfucker, which I think is hilarious, even though the Portuguese translation is badass, which I assume is more what he's going for. It just seems like as soon as Inferno slipped away, so too did Wildcard's motivation to win. And dude, listen, the most damning thing I can say is that on Nuke, the opening half, the entirety of Wildcard combined for 24 kills. In that same half, Dumao and Neeson combined for 31. Those two players outfragged the entire team. That is what it is, man. Because sometimes you get hit in the mouth and there's no way to recover. And I think Wildcard were already backsliding. Obviously, the big thing, they went up 2-0 and like FlyQuest got eliminated 2-3, which is a horrible feeling because you had 3 best of 3s. And honestly, every single one the Wildcard had was winnable. And instead, you just go out meekly on the final day in a North American major, which I know for players like Stanislaw and JBA especially, it's gotta hurt. And it's to the point that, like, I wanted to be, like, irrationally angry because I really thought they would do better and it cost me my pick'ems. But I'm just kind of sad because I don't know how this is going to destabilize Wildcard, because it feels like the team is at odds with each other. Sonic gave some very damning interviews after the fact that did not inspire much confidence. I don't know, man. I'm at a loss for words. Wildcard might just need like a detailed look back after the fact to kind of analyze the damage. I guess if one thing, because you know, you guys know how I feel about my principles and my morals of these videos, I don't shy away from it. I do think it's ridiculous that Stanislaw was receiving flack for saying save Gaza in his exit interview. I don't know what to tell you guys. If you are pro genocide, get off my channel. Like, I feel like that shouldn't be a bar I have to get over, but it's the internet. People say ridiculous shit. Stanislaw saying that we shouldn't be killing innocent people is somehow controversial, and only controversial for certain players who are not at the major and are instead on the bench, on their couch, and just on Twitter looking to be angry about stuff that they perceive as an attack, even though it's not. You guys know who they are. You can go look at my Twitter, but I'm not going to bring too much more attention to it other than to say, yeah, I agree with Stan. I think it's really, really, really important for someone like him to take a stand like that and to do it in public, which puts him at risk with his job. I think is a really powerful moment for the major, and I don't want to shy away from that. For Legacy, just good game, man. That is a game those players will not forget. They will look back on this moment that they didn't even think they would have, because obviously the whole Bestia situation definitely looms over the top of this, but they made the most of their opportunity. And, you know, will they get out of stage 2? It's not likely, but they go into their first best of 1 tomorrow with all the wind in their sails. So I just hope they continue to play well and have fun. I think that's like the best wish I can give them, even though, again, they are the architects of my destruction when it comes to me getting a diamond coin. And the somber tone continues, because if there was going to be one more team to somehow go out more sad than North America, leave it to FlyQuest. Because in their game against Tyloo, they, well, listen, they won the first game 13-10 on Inferno, which definitely inspired some confidence. They then proceeded to only win 6 more rounds on the last 2 maps. 6. They won the first game and won 6 more rounds before getting eliminated. I have never in my life seen a throw maybe this bad ever. Like this is a whole new dimension of choke. And I thought yesterday was pretty bad. I thought yesterday against Amiga, that was about as choke as you can get from FlyQuest. No. They redefined it. Getting blanked on Mirage, 11-1 on your T side. Miserable. Negative firepower. Negative firepower to the point that if Liaz still has a job tomorrow, I would be shocked, because he was awful. And honestly, Vegt side, not much better. The only pieces you 100% keep on FlyQuest are Regali, Inns, and Netic. I think everything else, you just open season. Get JKS on this team tomorrow, and maybe we could finally not be wretched. God, my thoughts are so scattered here. Tyloo just brought it all together at the right moment. G was incredible. Attacker was awesome. Mosia had moments. Mercury finally got some impact. Jam Young wasn't needed on Mirage. He was unfucking real on Anubis next to G. And dude, listen, I'm sorry. FlyQuest, you got battered 9-3 on the T side of Anubis in a must-win game. How do you even manage that? How do you let them go 9-0? 9 straight rounds on the hardest CT side in the game. It's just all chaos. The major has descended into just absolute chaos out of nowhere, dude. And I'm sitting here just like looking at the burned wreckage of my pickups, like, where did I go wrong? I don't think these picks were bad, but what the fuck went wrong? I guess as a final closing note, if there's one bit of positivity, G might be just the most likable person in the history of the world. I watching G give exit interviews, I'm just like, I want to give the man a hug. G just seems like the nicest man to ever be born on this earth. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I thought we would never see like a Pasha Biceps ever again in Counter-Strike. G is this era's Pasha. Just a lovable man. Just a lovable goofball of a man. Just so happy to be there. And I said it on Twitter, just like, dude, I wish I could be happy about stuff like G is just happy about everything. It must be nice. Alright guys, there's my scattered, incoherent mess of thoughts about today's games. Hopefully you enjoyed this barely sane rant. Keep an eye out for the VOO Pickups video. Check out my new podcast, Hold the Angle, which will be premiering tomorrow morning. And also, make sure you guys take a second, leave a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Helps out immensely the YouTube algorithm. Let's hit 10K by the end of the year. Thank you guys so much for the support and working with me during this busy major cycle. Thank you to Skin Club for sponsoring this video. There's a top link in the description. You can participate in their pick'ems alongside the in-game ones. And for free, you enter, you pick the teams you think will win, and you can get points towards free prizes at the very end. And if you do play on Skin Club afterwards, please gamble safely and responsibly. Thank you to Skin Club. Thank you to my channel members, Justin, Jesse, Frilly, Milan Berta, Bubblesj, Dr. Card, Patatas Kaftesi, PTR, B1 Games, Cody Foxworthy, Justin Vegt, I'm Flashbang, Snowy White, Rowdy, Vergil'sPlasticChair, and Sid Pro 12. If you want to become a channel member, do so. Link is down below for $5 a month. You can name the video just like this, as well as a customer on the community Discord. Follow me on Twitch TV, LionHeartZ. See you guys soon. Bye.